think they're cooked though. They're just done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, to be fair, a lot of people are jumping him. So if he does use his domain, that would be insane to see like 5, 6 characters caught in it, seeing how each of them try and scramble out of it.
I genuinely don't think. I don't even think Yuta's got the RCT or output to survive that one.
Yuta, that's my guy. That's my guy. He could base Yuta.
Oh no, I don't even think Hakari can.
No, Hakari probably can't. But that's Hakari though. Like, Yuta just base. He'd walk through it like how Yuji walked through the dismantle.
Okay.
of 214. Oh, we are live as well. Yuta Kaisen, I see that in the chat. Shout. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's just a bad look with how it ended last time. You know, Sukuna hitting another Black Flash. It is not looking good.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's got his domain back though, because Gojo hit that. Gojo hit like what, 3 in a row, and where was his domain? You know, so I think his output's gonna come back. I don't think Malevolent Shrine's back yet.
True. I mean, to be honest, it does go into the whole point of, like you said before, if he gets his domain back, it's kind of over, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just cooked. So what are they doing? There's got to be some crazy, like, that's either where they're gonna pull in this crap I'm hearing about Hakari tug of war domains, and he's just gonna outright beat it, or some new character will have to come in. Or
think about this: Yuji domain expansion. You know, Blood Palace, something like that. Soul domain. Nah, Gege doesn't like Yuji enough to do that.
No, you see, what I was thinking though, instead of, I mean, I'm not saying Yuji doesn't have a domain expansion, but I think it would be so sick if for some reason, like, I don't know, because their souls are connected, or because he's got Sukuna's cursed energy, if he can just walk straight through Malevolent Shrine and not take any damage, would be so sick.
Yeah, so I think I remember Gojo, how he said, like, because the purple hit him, because it was made out of his own cursed energy, it didn't hum as much. I guess the only issue with that is, like, Sukuna does use Cleanliness Mantle on Yuji, and it seems to affect him like it does with everyone else, but maybe the domain would be unique, though. Maybe the domain would be unique, where he could just... That would be kind of cool to see that recreate, that moment where he walks through the dismantles, but now it's a domain. You know, everyone's running away. You know, Maki's getting cooked from the domain, but Yuji's just walking through. Maybe.
I'm just trying to think, like... He can't... I mean, if without that working, like, I don't see how he can use his domain. It doesn't... I don't know how that's been beaten. Maybe Fuga. I feel like that's gonna come first, honestly. I don't know what would push him to do that, but I just don't see the domain working out for anyone.
I have an interesting question. I've never asked you this. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Because, you know, we got the Gojo preview today, and we got some new, you know, kind of Pokemon Gojo today with the airport being empty. But what are your thoughts on Gojo being alive? Are you know, coping like the rest of us, or are you normal?
Okay, I'll be honest. I love Gojo. It's my second favorite character. I'm not coping as hard as some other people are.
Hi.
I'm definitely not coping as hard as you are, because I've seen your recent videos. They're great.
Max cope.
But they're pure cope.
Yeah, as long as there's hope, you know.
Like, I think he is probably alive. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
I do actually think he's alive. I just don't think he's coming back to fight Sukuna.
No, I agree. So even in the video I made, I was saying how he would have to, if he, you know, somehow were alive, he'd have to lose the 6 eyes. Because, like, obviously his eyes waking up. It's probably him getting cut, but if he does lose the 6 eyes, you know, remember how Sukuna was saying Yuta wouldn't be able to use the Limitless because he doesn't have the 6 eyes? It could be a big way to nerf him, where he might be even as strong as Yuta and Hakari now if he loses the 6 eyes, or he might even be weaker. So he'd come back, but, you know, he wouldn't be strong enough to just solo Sukuna or something. Which is, I think, would be pretty fair in terms of power scaling, you know, we're looking at.
Nah, you see, I fully disagree with that, because I think if he comes back nerfed, it kind of ruins the idea of, you know, how Gojo was always pushing up, especially Yuta, Yuji, and Hakari, to be like, they'll be on my level, and they're gonna, you know, redefine special grade, they're gonna surpass me. I want them to do that because they get stronger, not because Gojo gets weaker, if that makes sense.
I don't think... That's the thing, though. I don't think they'll ever be able to reach that level, like, individually. Maybe the only person could be Yuji, EOS Yuji, we don't know. But Yeah, I don't know if there's like ever a world where you like Yuta, Hakari, and Maki ever reach that level. And maybe if there's a time skip at the end, but
Nah, bro, just you wait when Yuta pulls back up with the 6 eyes and it's finished for Sukuna. It's so done.
maybe that's a good. I love that theory. I mean, I love all the Yuta theories. How he'll lose Rika and his base will become stronger. 6 eyes awakening,
Yeah.
no time limit. I mean, hopefully, we've seen Gege really likes Yuta. He gave him the 3-chapter highlight. Editor called him previous MC.
Clearly does not like Hakari very much.
18 chapters. 18
It's
chapters.
crazy.
Oh my god. With a maid. Really?
I don't know who's worse. Like, I can't actually tell. Maybe they're both amazing or they're both terrible. But I don't get how neither of them have done. Like, they both look fine. I don't understand it.
I mean,
nothing's happened.
Uraume looks fine, you're right, but I'm looking at Hakari. Even with jackpot, arm frozen, skin peeling, skin like blistered. I'm thinking Uraume is the one winning this right now.
I mean, I like the idea of I think you've said this before, where it's like Uraume can like freeze cursed energy, kinda. So the idea that Uraume like can freeze jackpot,
Slow it down, maybe.
or like freeze the infinite or the healing or something is kind of, it's an interesting idea. I feel like then we've got the problem of Hakari's matching Uraume in base, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay, the thing is
I don't know.
I see enemy stand user as well. I see him in the chat. He's cooking. Hakari looking irrelevant. I mean, dude, 18 chapters, and it looks like the fight's not even close to being done. Because I remember people were saying, when this came out, when the Uraume versus Hakari stuff started, like, oh wow, Hakari's going to take care of Uraume, no problem, it's going to be a quick fight, especially when we cut back to it recently, or the last time we cut back to it, not this time, but 2 times ago. And then we look back and all of a sudden, the city's frozen, Uraume's looking confident, Hakari's looking injured, and I do want to say, just because he doesn't have cursed energy around him doesn't mean he's not in jackpot, because we do see, when he's actually fighting Uraume while we know he has jackpot, and he's tossing Uraume around the city, not once do we see his cursed energy spike, or even see like cursed energy around him, so it's more likely that he is in jackpot right now as he's talking to Uraume, but again, I do think maybe the healing is just like the curse, because his ice can freeze cursed energy. Uraume's ice can freeze cursed energy. Maybe that's actually slowing down the infinite cursed energy jackpot. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I see it. I mean, I'll be honest. This is strange because I normally have like, I feel like I'm very positive when it comes to whenever Gege drops a chapter. I always enjoy it. I never really have anything to complain about. But I do kind of just have the feeling that compared to the other 3 heavy hitters like Maki, Yuta, and Yuji, Hakari just doesn't hold the same weight in the story, and I feel like Gege just wants to not have him involved so he can let the other 3 sort of have their moment, which is, I feel like that, I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but it kind of just feels like he's gone, right, I need a reason to remove Hakari for a second and just leave this fight off screen, which I at least wish we get to see the fight a bit,
I completely agree. I mean, I've put the poll in chat. I specifically want to see the fight, not because of Hakari, because I don't think Hakari's... I mean, what does he do? He punches, he kicks,
punch,
he
kick,
heals.
merchant.
You know what I
kick,
mean?
merchant.
But with Uraume, it does seem like there's a lot we haven't seen. I mean, they spawn in this ice, like, sphere, this ice ball, and the entire fight's off screen. Y'all are his? No, you're right. You're completely... We're his. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. But I'm a Uraume fan. That's mainly why I'm on the Uraume train. Top 5 for me. But yeah, like Uraume has this ball that freezes the city, and they've clearly got a massive advantage. I more so would love to see the fight for this reason. I would hate for the entire fight to be off screen. And also, shout out to Flame Go Yuji. Appreciate the 5 Canadian. Shout out Canada. He says, Uraume and Hakari are going to kill each other. Interesting. What do you think about that?
The double KO. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's possible. I'm not gonna lie. I think unless Uraume is actually just fully negating the jackpot with their freezing technique, like I don't see Hakari losing. I just don't see him winning either because of like how this has been going so far. I genuinely don't know who wins it, but I don't see Hakari losing. I'm not gonna lie.
I used to say that, but I've actually come to a pretty interesting possibility, okay? So, I think, at least with how the story is going, we all kind of agree, maybe you don't agree, but maybe you agree that Sukuna's more likely to win right now. So I'm not saying he's going to win the whole series, just right now, this round of fighting, he's probably going to win, and the main cast is going to have to regroup and challenge him again. You know, maybe after he's fought the merger or something. Do you agree, or maybe disagree with that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think round 2 is inbound, and you know, I mean, we've like everyone's been saying, we've kind of run out of characters at this point. So he's sort of already won, and now we need to just cut back to Shoko and whatever Shoko's doing. Hell, even Shoko and what's his name, Guitar Man and Utahime doing their thing, you know, working their magic, healing up these
Gakuganji. Maybe he'll go. Yeah, because like boosting Shoko's cursed energy, because she can only use reverse curse technique to half the output. But what I'm thinking is Uraume might beat Hakari now, and they'll actually have a rematch for round 2.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh,
the thing is though, I don't see the context in which, like,
Thank you so much.
there's actually I feel like round 2 is happening immediately. Like, I don't think there's gonna be a break. I don't know why Sukuna just lets them all walk off like nothing happened.
Thank you so much.
because for some reason he black flashed Maki and he just left her alone. He's like, yo, you can just go. And then he cut Yuta in half and they just teleport Yuta away. I'm imagining...
Thank you so much.
I don't know.
Hey man, he had to deal with Kusakabe, bro. Don't, like, he had to ignore Maki.
I forgot Kusakabe. I forgot about that. Also, much love, China Doll, a special member of the channel.
Thank you so much.
Much love. It's genuinely much appreciated for 5 gifted. And again, everyone who got a gifted sub, shout, like, thank China Doll. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. That's very sweet. That's awesome. But have you seen the leaks with the? They might probably fake. The leaks aren't out until about like 11 hours from now, right?
Yeah, but there's always like
Fake.
there's that one guy who does all the fake leaks. And they look great. Nearly get me every week. That's probably what you've been caught by.
Did you see he actually made by the way, the guy who makes fake leaks, he's actually very nice. He let me use the Nobita fake leak, because then he made it like a... After the Nobita fake leak was done, he made it into proper art, and he let me use it for fun. Wow, this guy's very nice.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, he actually drew one of Miguel this week, when Miguel was like using his domain.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh man, it looked awesome. I mean, wait, what if Miguel has a domain?
Miguel's like, I was not expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Miguel just had straight damage nullification, which I honestly thought was pretty boring. But that technique I thought was so cool. Just such a cool character.
I mean, he is literally... It's like he's taken up Hakari's spot, where, you know, Hakari on the bench fighting Uraume hasn't even touched Sukuna yet. Where we got like Miguel, he's sort of like the he's just like boxing up. So he's literally doing what people thought Hakari would have done. You know what I mean?
You know,
it's crazy.
Like, I went through. I think I said this in my review, but I went through the chapter very carefully because I didn't want to say this and be wrong about it. But I genuinely think Miguel is the only character in this whole fight to take 0 hits, like completely 0 damage in a whole chapter against Sukuna. That's crazy.
Seriously, dude, he came in, dodged the dismantles, and not only that, I think like Sukuna was trying to hit him with his hands, and he was just like grabbing his hand away or kind of like moving it aside of martial, like defending it. I don't know what technique that was, but like with the back of his hand, he's pushing Sukuna's hand away, striking him, elbowing. It's like damn. I mean, again, we know it's a bit crazy because Sukuna has 50 nerfs, and then Miguel's cast technique is now debuffing him on top of that, which is a bit insane to think about, but it's still impressive regardless. You know, incredibly impressive.
Yeah, it's very cool. I also like how LaRue and Miguel just like, they start off that chapter standing on the roof, just take the piss out of Sukuna for having nothing. They're like, oh, I feel bad for him.
It is.
And then obviously LaRue got cooked, but it is what it is.
Miguel is the hero, Miguel is him. Yeah, I mean, LaRue got cooked, but LaRue's actually much stronger than I thought. Because I may be mistaken, but I think they actually do tank a dismantle at some point. or at
Yeah.
least like something from Sukuna. So the reinforcement is actually impressive, and this is about. We don't know if Miguel and LaRue went through the training. We don't know if they actually like after Yuta asked. Actually, that's the main thing. When did Yuta ask Miguel and LaRue for help? Was that at the beginning of the time skip, or was that maybe at the end? I imagine at the very least, it couldn't have been more than halfway through the time skip when they actually went to LaRue
Yeah.
for help.
I mean, like, they've got probably like they've got Wee Wee on hand for getting wherever they need to go. So I don't know why they wouldn't just
Oh,
go
right.
ask him straight away. You know?
You don't need to go like take a plane trip. You don't need to do any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
A plane trip might be scary though. Kenjaku might try and sabotage the plane. You know. I guess he's sticking around Sukuna. But
Kenjaku was way too scared in that month to go anywhere.
he was sticking to. I mean, unless Sukuna, took a plane to, I don't know, like U.S. or some country just for holiday. He's got a month to kill.
Imagine Sukuna like going through customs to get on a plane. It's like your average Joe with Kenjaku.
That would have been insane. Actually,
That's not right.
Yeah, Uraume's just there too. LaRue's design, I think LaRue's design is awesome actually. I mean, at the very least, it's very distinct. Everyone recognizes LaRue right away
Yeah.
when you see LaRue. But I mean, they're a lot stronger than I thought they would be, because we saw like Ghetto's minions. They don't seem, especially not the two twins, they don't seem that powerful. But yeah, LaRue does seem like another thing. And Cheesy Bread, appreciate it too. The answer to that is no. I appreciate
Oh
it.
my god.
The answer to that is no. But it's pretty wild for us. I can't lie. Now I do think. Oh, actually, LaRue's probably out for the count as well. I don't think that's even up for debate, right?
If Sukuna is surprised that Maki came back from that Black Flash, there is no way LaRue is coming back from that. I'm sorry, it can't happen.
Yeah, it's pretty cooked. I mean, actually, I saw even people saying how because the narrator didn't finish off what they were saying, how it didn't actually say Sukuna's gone to reverse cast technique, but it's implying it. How some people are saying, oh, he's not going to get his reverse cast technique. I think Mimura said that, how he's not going to get his reverse cast technique back. But some people are actually saying how he's going to get more than that. And, some people, maybe be me, but I don't know, like, I mean, again, it goes back to the whole domain point we were talking about earlier. If he actually activates it, like, they might actually be cooked. I don't know, because, again, Megami sort of was in a situation where he was forced to use a domain. So we've seen that happen before, where if you actually push someone to the absolute brink, you actually put them against the wall, they can pull out a domain if need be. So it's not impossible that could be the same thing.
Are you trying to say,
Yuji.
like... Okay, I see what you mean. I think... I'm gonna get some backlash for this. I genuinely think that's an exception for, like... Not an exception, because I'm sure it happens with every sorcerer who has a domain. But I think that's a Megami special, because that kid just has so much potential. Like, I think he's... In terms of being good at Jujutsu, like, he is way beyond Yuji. At least at the moment, like, way beyond Yuji, in my opinion. I feel like that was a little bit more of a Megami thing than just a general, anyone can really do it if they try hard enough. I feel like it. Maybe I'm giving Megami too much credit. I don't know.
See, the thing is the reason Megami's potential is so off the charts is because he had like a top 3 technique in the verse. He had the 10 shadows, and we know, like, it was said so many times how your curse technique is like, it's your innate talent. Like, what is it? 80% of your potential all comes from like your innate talent. What the curse technique you're born with. And the reason Megami always had so much more potential is because he had a top 3 technique. So by default, his potential was so powerful that it's the same reason why Kamo, even though he's not that strong, was instantly put to be clan head like in the future, simply because of his curse technique's potential. Here's the interesting thing. Blood manipulation is supposed to have the same potential, at least in theory, as the 10 shadows. Yuji never had a curse technique before, so that's why he's kind of limited. Now, think about it. Yuji has blood manipulation, a technique with insane potential that rivals Megami's own. So he may have the potential to now awaken a domain expansion. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I see it. I mean, I'm a straight up, like, I think I think in the hands of Chozo and maybe Yuji, depending on kind of what his limits are, probably higher than most people. Like, unless you're Chozo or Yuji, blood manipulation is such an ass technique. Like, it's so bad. You
I
have
disagree.
a limited supply of blood. What are you doing? There's no way blood manipulation is the same. Like, I get what you're like. I understand what you're saying because it's like the head of the clan. They value that technique. It's the innate technique of the clan. But I think there's a huge difference between Ten Shadows and blood manipulation.
Okay, I'll get into that now. Before I do, let me just reply to because I too much to talk about on that topic. So first of all, appreciate drink more water. Appreciate 10. They say, do you think Hakari is alone in this fight, or do we see someone like Toto returning eventually? Which is embarrassing. I mean, if he needs help, that's crazy. Anyway, if everybody else went in groups in that fight, so if Hakari went solo, that shows how strong he really is. I kind of see it as the opposite. I think if he needs help, that says a lot more about Uraume. The fact that Hakari, who was able to, I'm just going to say some quotes, beat Kashimo, at least base Kashimo, needs help against Uraume. I mean, do you think he's going to get help?
At this point, no. I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be resolved between the two of them.
When Uraume freezes Hakari in a block of ice. I see it. I see the vision.
I feel like if Uraume could have done that, they would have already.
I mean, we've seen characters never use... Sometimes they don't use their domains until the end of a fight, like in Sendai.
Yeah.
Maybe Uraume's like, alright, I understand your abilities in much depth. Domain, and they're just like instantly. I'm coping, but... Anyway, Cheesy Bird, appreciate it too. I love you and Quirkless streams, the most pure peak. I mean, if you think a lot of debating, a lot of disagreeing, then maybe you love that. It's very fun though. Thank you, that's very sweet. And M3D, appreciate $2. Don't switch up when Hakari versus Uraume. Trust me. I mean, you guys know me, you know. I'm the #1 switch up person in the community, you know. I switch my agendas every day, like I'm changing blanket sheets. So I'll be switching up. Don't worry. I mean, actually, I want to ask you, just like, maybe I shouldn't put you on the spot, but do you sort of have a like, have you made up your mind on who you think is going to win the Uraume versus Hakari fight? If you had to place money now.
Oh, honestly, I was thinking about this earlier, and I don't know. I genuinely have no clue. I was very Hakari-sided. I think I still am leaning more towards Hakari, but it was that panel, I think it was chapter 252, where they're like facing off, and Hakari's all iced up, and Uraume just looks fine. Like completely. I kind of lost hope at that point. I was like, all right, yeah, punch kick merchant coming through. I don't see like if he hasn't done it yet, then you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think that's a fine way of looking at it, because I agree. You know, I think if that's all he's got in his bag, you know, I mean, dude, he's on his 20th jackpot. We're 50 chapters in. It's not even close to being done. Like, this is crazy. This is insane. Hakari shoes way. I don't see him either. I don't know. I mean, how is Hakari winning the poll, by the way? I just checked. This is not right. I mean, I imagine Hakari fans must have, you know, rigged the poll. That's the only way. There's no way.
It's heavy weather, bro. Heavy weather's he's hacked your channel.
No, yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
He's
the Hakari agenda's just it's too strong.
But right, back to blood manipulation. I almost forgot about that. Okay, listen.
Yeah.
There is like an interesting. Okay, so in the light novels, it's Thorny Road. I think it's volume 2 of Thorny Road. I think that's Gojo actually says that Sugawara, so Michizen Sugawara, so one of the three vengeful spirits, the one who had the 6 eyes and limitless, he sort of implies one of three things. At the bare minimum, he's close to Gojo's level. Most likely, he's on Gojo's level. And there's like a chance you can interpret the line that Gojo says, because he says that'll be a troublesome opponent, as him actually being stronger than Gojo. Because for Gojo to say that, usually even when Gojo thinks someone's stronger than him, he still has some sort of confidence, but Gojo says, like, damn, that's actually a tough fight, Michizen Sugawara. So, and remember, there was a blood manipulation user of the Heian Era, who was one of the big three, vengeful spirits. He, or she, we actually know, they were actually on the same level as Michizen Sugawara and the Ten Shadows user at the time. Do you get what I mean? if that's the case,
I do.
you know, Six Eyes Limitless, 10 Shadows, he's on that level. And, I mean, you could argue, though, that the only reason the Vengeful Spirit was on that level was because they were a Vengeful Spirit. So they didn't have any blood issues, you know, running out of blood because they're a cursed spirit. So you could argue that. But then you could also argue, let's say someone like Sukuna, let's say he got reverse cursed, if he got blood manipulation, his reverse curse technique, and especially cursed energy efficiency, is so good. Source, I mean, no, the source is from a light novel. It's Thorny Road. If you want, I could put it up on the screen, actually. Because I know a lot of people don't read the light novel, so this may be new information for you guys. But I can put it on the screen right now. But at least, like... okay, sorry, we're back to what I was saying. Like, maybe someone like Sukuna, whose cursed energy efficiency is so good and so refined, they would actually be able to create, like, rivers of blood using the cursed energy, just a reverse curse technique. And they wouldn't lose that much cursed energy. It's not confirmed, but if it's someone like Sukuna, maybe they could do that.
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you mean. It's a good point about the vengeful spirits. I think definitely a good argument is that they were vengeful spirits, but the thing is, it's just looking at the technique, like, it's very difficult to see. I can see how it would be, like, blood manipulation could be way stronger than we've ever seen it. But if you compare, like, the, you know, full potential of Limitless Six Eyes and the full potential of 10 Shadows to the full potential of blood manipulation, I think it comes dead last on that. Yeah, I get you. I think it's not like, maybe I just have a crap imagination, but I don't see what you can really be doing with that can, you know, you can. I know a lot of people have like this idea of some sort of, what's that thing Chozo uses, flowing red scale stack to like harden himself, like this armor, but that's still not like, you know, take a hollow purple to the face. What was blood manipulation doing for you, you know?
But that's the thing, though. It's like, now we're comparing people who've never... Okay, let's take it like this, actually. Take it like this. Think about, had we never seen... Like, the only 10 Shadows Yuji we'd ever see, is just Megumi. And we never got to see Sukuna actually bring out its full potential. You'd have said 10 Shadows is, like, incredibly bad. All you have is, like, Mahoraga, which is great, but the rest of the 9 Shikigami are garbage. But then all of a sudden...
wait, that's cap.
That's what people used to say before we saw Sukuna use it in the fanbase. Like, people said the only reason it's top 3 is because of the only reason. All of a sudden, you give it to someone like Sukuna, now, like, each Shikigami is looking godlike. Like, Nue is huge. It's even coasting someone like Yorozu, who beat the 5 Void Generals and is a Heian Era top tier, who's, like, said by the Naruto, cursed energy and output is on the same level of people of the highest tiers of the Heian Era. And he's doing that without Mahoraga. Like, this is just with the regular Shikigamis coasting her. It's that powerful. And then you compare it to, like, Megumi. If we just look at Megumi with the 10 Shadows, it looks garbage. I mean, Megumi had the technique for over a decade, and he was grade 2? Really?
Yeah.
And then it's the same way, like, if we compare teenage Gojo, like, before he awakened, to Gojo now. It's like, Gojo... Okay, let's say Toji had actually killed Gojo. And that was the end of Gojo right then and there. Then, throughout history, you could argue that, like, Heavenly Awakened users are actually stronger than Six Eyes Limitless. You could make the argument, because a Heavenly Restricted user killed a Six Eyes Limitless user. But when you take into the context that Gojo's potential, like, it wasn't even like close to being reached, right? It's like you can't even compare post-awakened Gojo to Gojo now. I imagine it's the same with blood manipulation, where we've never seen anyone even bring it close to its full potential. Like, someone like Choso maybe has that possibility because he's so suited for the technique, because he's like a death painting. But at least as of now, he has not even come close to bringing it to its full potential. He's sort of like Megumi. The same with Kamo. It's sort of like Megumi. But if you'd given it to someone like Sukuna, he'd probably make it look like... I mean, imagine spawning in a tsunami of blood. The blood is complete. Like, you can control it and do whatever you want with it. I can't even imagine. Like, it'd probably be one of the... God, that might be the strongest technique in the series. Like, when I actually think about it in that way, like, the possibilities are endless with the blood manipulation. I know it's not a very popular opinion, but I'm kind of ride or die with blood manipulation.
I get what you mean. Like, the you've sort of convinced me on like the full potential of the technique can live up to the full potential of like the other two big techniques. I think my thing was, it's more that like, I mean, it's kind of like you said, like we've seen Sukuna bring out the potential of, you know, 10 Shadows, and we've seen Gojo pull out the potential of 6 Eyes Limitless. But for even amongst like, you know, throughout history, other 6 Eyes Limitless users, Gojo and Sugawara Michizane are like still considered the top of that chain of like 6 Eyes Limitless users, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I can agree that the potential of all 3 techniques is probably on a similar level, especially when used by like the 3 vengeful spirits. But I think in terms of what we're seeing now, I don't see anyone other than maybe Yuji actually reaching that like full potential.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree, actually. I don't think Yuji will probably ever reach that full potential. I'm just arguing that it has that potential.
I see it.
Let me get the Gojo light novel thing as well. Gojo light novel. Here we go.
Yeah, I was also going to say something interesting where like I can see if there's a way to like if the full potential of blood manipulation is more like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it's like
Bloodbend. Oh. Okay.
Blood bending. So like if you can like manipulate other blood besides like just your own, that would bump it up many tiers.
You're the strongest person if that's the who beats you.
You just
you know what I mean? That's I mean
that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think the only limitation is it's your own blood, but if you somehow could control other blood, that's incredible. That could be happening. Also, Tiberius, appreciate the 5. Much appreciate. Tiberius says, if it's possible for blood manipulation to expand its target and that's the thing. Yeah. Other people's blood, that would be crazy. So again, appreciate the 5. It's what we were just talking about now. I think like, how do you beat that? That's sort of the issue with that. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
Would the Limitless be able to stop that? Because I guess the technique would need to travel.
I feel like that's what I was kind of thinking of. Those sort of techniques that are sort of remotely activated, like I don't know, Nobara's Straw Doll or Inumaki's Cursed Speech. Is like because you can't see it physically travel, if that makes sense. Always wondered whether Infinity would stop it, but I think Gojo's statement about it can automatically like read something's cursed energy is so I feel like Cursed Speech wouldn't work on Gojo because it is cursed sound effectively. That Infinity would I think block out, but I don't know if that would be the same for something like controlling someone else's blood. I don't really know how the cursed energy travels or interacts in that way.
I think it would be able to stop the sound, because I remember Jogo actually used sound attacks against Gojo, and it didn't go through. But you make a really good point of Straw Doll, though. I've never thought about that, by the way. That's a really, really good... Wait a minute.
Dude, don't get me started on Straw... I love that technique. I made a whole ass video about what if Yuta had that technique. Because I think the only problem with Nobara and that technique is that Nobara is like much more limited by her own like cursed energy and her own potential. But I had a theory that like if Nobara had a bit of Gojo somehow and used the Straw Doll resonance technique, because it's like from what we've seen it's like a direct attack and it can damage the soul, whether like that would completely bypass Infinity. And like for Sukuna as well, having that, you know, because I've been saying for ages he's got a hand lying around, so he's got multiple hands now lying around, which is the perfect opportunity for a straw doll resonance. And I find that idea so interesting, man.
See, that's the thing, because I remember this take I've had for over, I think almost like a year and a half since I've been doing this. The reason Gege, I almost said Gojo. The reason Gege took Nobara out of the story, because he, like, that's the truth. He just wrote her out completely, and in such a way that it's like not even. It's just vague on if she's even alive or dead. The reason he did that is simply because she solves too many problems. Like, genuinely, the merger, like, she actually counters it way too well. Kenjaku of Curse Pyramid, she would counter that very well. she had ever fought Kenjaku. And especially Sukuna, considering they had a finger, and also that Yuji is made up of Sukuna's cursed energy, and like, as the narrator said, as long as there's a connection, it could be any sort of connection. So it could be blood, it could be an item that the person used. Yuji having the same cursed energy as Sukuna, and even so much so that he's actually the same as the Sukuna finger. Let's just say while Gojo and Sukuna are fighting, Yuji, like, Nobita tells Yuji, stick your hand out. She hits like a resonance in his hand or his arm, and then it affects Sukuna in the battlefield.
Yeah.
And then she spams that over and over and they heal Yuji, while Sukuna's supposed to be fighting Gojo. Like, she solves too many issues. That's the thing. No. That's why I had to write her out. He probably realized when he's writing Shibuya, like, oh damn, like her technique is just 2 hacks, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that's how I feel about Todo as well. Like, Todo has that same level of potential where just having that ability available in any scenario here makes things like these kind of fights so much harder to write, because there is so much Todo can help with and so much Nobara could help with, that I was just like, okay, I can see, you know, I get it, like, it's going to cause way too many problems here. There are so many things that they can, like, bypass and just sort of, you know, I don't want to say it. I mean, it's not arse-bully at all, but, like, they do just solve so many problems, and I feel like I'm still hopeful we're going to get them back. I think I would not be happy with Nobara's ending if that's, like, we just never see Nobara again. I'd be so upset if that is genuinely the last time we see Nobara.
If JJK ends and we don't, no, I can't.
I can't even think about it.
That is painful to even think about. Toto's makes less sense because, like, what? Okay, even someone like Hana, who is missing her arm and she can't fight, like, she's actually incapacitated. Even so, she was still sitting down, you know, watching, commentating the fight, and there was so much commentary from her and Angel. Even if Todo can't fight forever, which, you know, maybe he can get the Mechamaru hand, hopefully. But why was he not commentating on the fight? Like, I feel like out of all the characters in the entire series, him, Kusakabe, like, these people, like, especially someone like Todo, is so smart, and especially when it comes to cursed energy, he would have been amazing to have as commentary. I feel like that was a massively missed opportunity. I'm not even saying come back to fight, you know, just have him commentate.
Just be there. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's just, see, that's my kind of thought process on it, though, is for Todo especially, it, like, sure, Gege, you want to remove his technique from play, like, sure, that's fine, but I was so confused why he's not having him as a character, just, like, in those moments, you know, from the little we've seen for 1 month, from just watching the Gojo fight. I guess it kind of makes sense, because why would you, you know, if he can't really, I mean, I say he can't even do anything, like, he's lost his technique, but he can still fight to an, maybe not against Sukuna, but in the culling games even, he can beat up some fodder, for sure. And the way I've convinced myself, my copium here is just that Gege is chosen to completely remove him so that it makes the reveal so much better when he comes back.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And that's what I've chosen to believe.
No, it's just that's facts. That's right. You know, I'm 100% down to believe it. It's true. I mean, also, yeah, don't underestimate Total Battle IQ. I'm seeing people say in the chat. It's true. You know, 530k. The man's a genius. She's just, like, such a fun character to have. I do miss him so much in the story, man. Yeah. Also, I'm showing the screen right now. I'm not sure if you can see. Because someone else asked earlier. So this is the exact line. So it's from JJK's second light novel, Thorny Road to Dawn, Chapter 3, page 8. So he's talking to Ichiji. And Gojo's like, oh, damn. That person will actually be troublesome. Sugawara Michizane. You know, there's 3 interpretations you can go of it. Pretty crazy. Because the 3 vengeful spirits on, like, an equal playing field, too.
I find the I was doing for some I think for a video some kind of research into Sugawara Michizane and just, like, trying to get as much info on the Heian Era as I could. And I was basically just kind of thinking about this, Gojo talking about Sugawara. It's like, against Sukuna, Gojo had the whole "nah, I'd win" kind of, confidence, right? But I feel like there's something playing on Gojo's mind about the idea of fighting somebody with like the exact same technique, probably at like the same level Gojo's using it, as like, because he has so much confidence in himself and his technique, that's like kind of a worrying thought to him, that it's like you'd be going up against him. You know what I mean? So I really like that he recognized Sugawara as a potential problem if they were to fight, because I feel like he just wouldn't really know, and maybe he'd know better than most actually, because it's his technique as well. But what do you do at that point? Just facing off against effectively another version of you, like at your potential with your technique, is, I can see why that would worry him. I quite like it. Dude,
imagine the Hollow Purples clashing. What would happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, what would happen in that scenario? Would it just create a black hole?
It'd just be like, I feel like it'd be the Shinjuku, like massive Hollow Purple explosion, but just like twice as big.
God, wow.
Just take out the whole city.
Oh, by the way, so again, hopefully if anyone can speak Japanese, they can fully confirm this, but I've heard a lot of actual Japanese translators in the community say that the "Na'd win" is something that was, it's like, that was actually lost in translation from the original Japanese. So the phrase that he used in Japanese, he's saying like "I'd win," but he's saying it like, at least in the way he's saying it, was not in 100% confidence. So like the phrase is implying, that there's like a 50% confidence or 70% confidence. So it's like not 100% at least, which is pretty interesting. Then it makes more sense when you see why he was nervous before he had to fight Sukuna. He wasn't confident. But in English, it's kind of lost. And it just seems like, yeah, I'd win.
Yeah. No, I feel like throughout, I mean, I guess it helps more seeing the conclusion to that fight, but when I went back and reread the fight the other day, and it does seem like Gojo is aware of the possibility of losing. Like, I don't think he actually fully believes that he's gonna, fight this like every other fight. And he does even say, again, that this, like, is, if there's a translation error, then I don't know, I'm just gonna comment on what I've seen, but it's like, he says, like, it might cause me some trouble if he got his full power back, but I would win. And it's just the idea that Gojo went into that fight, I feel like we didn't actually get to see a lot of what was going on in his mind until everyone else realized the possibility of him losing. Do you get what I mean? So I'm not even sure that I'm not sure he was fully confident going into that, and I definitely think it's more interesting if, because there's a panel where it's like, Gojo thinks, when was the last time I was pushed like this? And he thinks about Toji. Just even that moment of admitting, that he was pushed to the same level that Toji pushed him back at that time where he nearly lost was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is one of those unfortunate things where I don't even know how you translate that. I don't think we have something like that in English, where you'd say like "I'd win," but the sentence, like, you're only implying a 70 or 30% chance of victory. I don't know if something like that even exists. Like, I'd probably win. I guess it wouldn't sound as good, but yeah, it's just like, it's happened a lot. I mean, even with this is very unfortunate, by the way, with Hakari's actual domain opening. Wait, let me just show this on screen too. When Hakari uses domain expansion, in like neither the TCB or the Viz or any other translation actually show it, but in the actual Japanese, there's like a text bubble that says Hakari's domain. I'm sure you've seen this, like, strong against tug of war, like strong against pull and pull, push and pull. It's one of those things where like the translation was just lost. I don't know why it was never included in any of the English translations. I guess there's a lot of things like that, especially with Viz, with John Werry's terrorism, like actual linguistic terrorism. Oh my goodness. I mean, I feel like every chapter there's 10 crucial mistakes, which is insane. But yeah, it is what it is. Also, if you can see the screen right now, I'm not sure if you can.
I can, yeah.
We had the Gojo preview. Like, no, it's sort of like a tribute video, like they did on the official channel. And we see the airport, and the seats are empty. Now listen, I'm seeing people say I was banger hunting, which is true, but, it does put an interesting idea out there. Like, because earlier on in the music video, he was meeting up with Shoko and Utahime. You know, Shoko can heal him. Utahime can boost Shoko's reverse curse technique. I'm just saying, man. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm okay. Based off this picture, that's crazy. I've not seen that, but I've not seen this music video either.
No, music video is like a tribute video. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It's like a couple hour long tribute video. Yeah.
But that's wait, that's real? That what?
Yep. There's more to it. Like it shows the entire airport and it's empty.
See, that's weird though, because it's like, okay. Actually, no, it kind of does make sense. Because I was gonna say, if it was showing everybody that was in the airport except Gojo, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, Gojo's coming back. But if no one's there, I don't know. I guess my point is that, like, he did say something about this is probably just like his imagination, right? Like, if this didn't actually happen, like if Gojo is gone, it just sort of doesn't necessarily exist. So yeah, I see it. The copium's real.
I mean, I think it's real because think about it. Naname told something to Gojo in the afterlife. It's something that only Naname would know, because Naname says, "In my final moments, I saw Habara." There's no way for Gojo's imagination to. It's just impossible. It 100% is the afterlife. And by the way, you know, here I am, Gojo coming back with Haibara, Geto, Naname, Riko, and Toji to fight Sukuna. That's big fiction, you know.
Wait, that makes no. I mean, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense what you're saying, because I don't know why he would know that. But then at the same time, if that's real, why are Geto and Toji there? How did they actually get there? If that's actually like the source of afterlife, how the hell are they there?
We have no idea how the afterlife works. We actually don't know.
What?
I don't know. Especially how Toji's in heaven. I mean, he did draw the volume extra of Toji the Halo, so I guess he likes Toji. Gege is the god of the world. He can just put him in heaven if he wants, I guess. But especially Geto, he should be in hell.
Oh,
you know?
Maybe this is me just like stretching stuff now, but it could be like this. If it's not the afterlife, like this sort of limbo state, right? Like where you're basically deciding, like, kind of being judged almost, like where you're gonna go, or you know, what direction are you gonna take? Because I was looking up the meaning of the En Martin hand sign, and there was I've literally read this once. It's something to do with like judgment, or like literally being in that like deciding, you know, whether you have been good or not in your life, and get like that judgment, almost as if it's like limbo, where sort of you're deciding, am I gonna go to heaven or hell, basically. I think I apologize if that's wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's
like a Grim Reaper or something.
What it was, which would like, it could be that, I don't know. I'm coping so hard here. I'm desperately trying to find any reason at the moment to think Gojo can come back, because I do really want him to, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It's an interesting picture.
It's pretty. I mean, there's more to it. If I can find. Actually, I'll go to. Let me do this real quick. Let me get the all of them up. Actually, let me go to Miyamura's Twitter account. Go Jova. Here we go. All right, let me show this on screen. Bang. All right. So Alonzi, followed by Alonzi. Also, yeah, follow me and Alonzi. You know, we're both on Twitter. So it links in the description for his Twitter as well. And his channel. I mean, I should have said this in the beginning. I always forget. If even one person here hasn't checked out Alonzi, incredible JJK content. I'm not exaggerating. It's actually amazing. Check him out. And his Twitter as well. It's down there. You can see, you know, Alonzi is following Mimura.
I appreciate that. So, yeah, I've been on the grind.
Quite a grind, yeah. I mean, amazing grind. It's been going great. Look at this. All right, it's a 12-hour stream. You know, the tribute video for Gojo. So here are all the pictures. I'll go over them one by one. Yeah, I didn't watch the 12-hour, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch any of it. I was just seeing people take the snippets of it.
Hours.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm not sitting through that. So that's the one we saw before. Let me get to a new one. My episode's quite laggy when I stream. It's like, here we go. So that's where Riko. What was the maid's name? I can't remember. And Toji what?
Kuroi, I want to say.
Yeah. something like that. I can't remember. Here we go. Where Haibara Nanami were. And then, yeah, the airport. The plane didn't take off, so people like theorizing because it didn't take off. Maybe he's coming back. I don't know. Who knows?
I feel like this. I can't like think of what it is, but I feel like Nanami's go north, go south thing has some kind of importance, or just like even like symbolic. I can't figure out exactly what it is, but I feel like that chapter was. I always thought like Gojo's death wasn't convincing. It seemed just a little bit too. I mean, I for one was thinking when he said something about can this not be my imagination? This was definitely me coping at the time. I was just like, why bring that up? Like, why? Unless it isn't actually happening and Gojo is going to be all fine, or he is going to be like dragged away from this. But I will find any reason to believe that Gojo is going to be okay. I'm not going to lie. So,
to be honest, it's like two of my favorite series of all time, One Piece and Fairy Tail, actually like top 10 for me. I love them to death, but they do have an issue of killing people off and then fake out deaths and bringing them back every time. I feel like JJK is the one series where it has an opposite issue where it kills people to like a disgusting rate. So I feel like if Gojo does come back, obviously there's going to be a lot of people who aren't okay with it, but I feel like it would be a lot less controversial compared to those other series where so many people die.
I think it can be done well.
Yeah, I mean, Yuji's come back 3 times, I mean, look at this picture here as well. Gojo meeting up with Utahime and Sho. I'm just saying that. Foreshadowing?
Yeah.
No, I'm coping, it's so hard, but... Also, this was pretty cool as well. I think... Like, look at this. Gojo meeting up with Hakari and then he's, like, asking about Kirara. That's awesome.
Oh, there's so much cope here, man. I don't know if I can... Yeah. If I can handle this.
Ah, man. It is... And there's also here,
Oh my god.
Very handsome looking young man. Very handsome. People hate this cover. People say he looks hideous.
That is so... I can't lie. It's such a troll, bro. And you can't tell me you look at that and think, yeah, that's my Gojo. That's my Satoru Gojo right there. Wait, hell no.
Let me show...
But why he's smiling like that?
Let me get one thing real quick. Oh my god. This meme took me out. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. This one meme. Maybe. Here it is. Okay, I'll show on the screen now. I had to find it first on Google. If my laptop will stop lagging.
Shoko Utahime and Ino will revive Gojo. I like this Ino theory. I don't think it's ever stated, right? But a lot of people think that Ino uses like his because his technique is built on seance. So they think the way they got the Nanami curse tool was through Ino, like kind of using an application of his technique to imbue Nanami's technique into his curse tool through like a kind of seance thing, which I found pretty cool because he did in the 1 month, like just after Gojo got removed from prison realm. Ino walks in and Shoko's like, oh, Ino's got something to tell us about Nanami, and that's all the information we get. I assume it was about the curse tool, but that would be a pretty cool idea, I'm not gonna lie, if Ino had some like seance thing where he can kind of preserve curse techniques, I guess. It's a pretty cool idea. Quite like it.
Like this is I'd argue one of the biggest theories on my channel. It was on a video I made 6 months ago. So Yuji's final death will contain a reincarnation. Obviously classic clickbait title. I've got to go with it. It did well, and the point of the video was, interestingly enough, not for Gojo though, and I still do believe it's true. I'd say there's like a 3% chance this come true. It's that Ino is actually going to be the one to resurrect Yuji using the like necromancy curse technique, because it's so similar to the grannies, and they even say like how they're both summoning curse techniques, right? Yeah. And how it works in a similar way, but he's just summoning the auspicious beast from like, I don't know, like a different dimensional realm, whatever's going. That's insane, whatever that is. Also implying that the like auspicious beasts are normal spirits, like normal spirits exist, but regardless, that's a whole different tangent. The fact that he can summon things. So my whole theory was, I kind of got like roasted for it, but maybe it could be true, because this is before we knew Ino was going to be relevant in the fight. This was before we knew how strong he was. Because I was saying, maybe Ino's gone stronger, maybe he's going to be on the battlefield. This was during Gojo vs Sukuna, and I said, he's actually going... Like, Yuji will be on the brink of death. Like, he'll be very close to death, and Ino's going to try summon his soul's information back, and, like, by a byproduct of that, maybe by mistake, he's actually going to summon his Heian info back. And maybe Choso will play a role in that as well, like maybe giving some blood to bring Thingy back. I've never thought about that theory for Gojo, though. I've never actually gone that way. I guess it'd be a bit tough because Ino's on the battlefield right now, but maybe they teleport him back after he got thrown out of the building. That is a very interesting possibility. I'm down for it if he's the one to bring Gojo back. I also put the meme on the screen as well. This was the meme I was referring to. It's a bit sad, man.
That is crazy.
It's a bit depressing, but...
like...
Yeah.
Oh, I have nightmares about this shit, man.
It's tough. I will say, it looks so much better when we can see in HD. It looks a lot better than the blurry version, but... Oh, man, it's still not very terminal.
I mean, look, Gojo content is Gojo content. It's better than nothing.
Also, leaks
that is creepy.
10 hours. Yeah, no, that was the dream comparison. Comparing Gojo to... That should be like a crime. I should go to prison for that, man. I can't even lie. Like, goddamn.
Oh, bro, the leaks. I don't know. Like, I feel like we're either going to have the biggest, like, a malevolent shrine reveal or Fuga or something, or it's going to just, like... I don't want to say just going to cut to... Uraume and Hakari, but as much as I want to see that fight, of all the times for Gege to choose to do that, really, right when Sukuna lands his second Black Flash would be the worst possible time for me to see that.
Wait,
I
imagine...
feel like something has to happen.
Imagine Sukuna... Let's say he gets his domain, right? I think we agree it's like unlikely, but let's just say he does, right? Let's hypothetically he gets his domain.
Yeah.
Everyone's trapped in it, everyone's getting cut up, and then we hear like... And then, Toto, he's back. He's got the robot hand, the Mechamara hand. His curse technique's like improved. Now he can, with one clap, teleport multiple people away. Like he just teleports everyone out of the domain. This is cool. This is fan fiction. This is realm of fan fiction right now. But that would be peak fiction. Can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so here for this Toto reveal, man. I had it in my April Fool's video, which somehow everybody fell for. It was so bait. But I couldn't help myself. I know Eternal Flame couldn't in his either. And that was a really fun video. It was great. At the end of both of our videos, it had like Toto and his return in some kind of way. When Sukuna's doing something crazy, you just hear that clap noise. I'm so here for it, man. In no way would I consider that a troll or ass pulley or like, oh look, this is who Gege is pulled in to fight Sukuna next.
I mean,
I have so much faith in Toto.
They never said Toto is dead. They never said he's like down for they haven't said a word about him. Like he could show up now, and I guess it would be a bit odd how he's been absent for so long. That's the odd part. Yeah. But other than that, there's no reason why he should. It's not like Nobita where, god damn, like what happened to her. And even Megumi and Yuji were talking about her fate. Like I get it. Okay, like, what do you get? But it would be awesome if they both came back at the same time, like Nobita and that'd be the greatest chapter in history, man.
You know, even if he doesn't get his technique back, I would love to see, like, similar to how when Yuji needed healing recently and Choso went and helped him, I would happily have Toto back just for the effect he has on Yuji. Like, just for him to, I don't know if he's like, whether he was, away and then was watching the stream that Mei was putting out and then be like, damn, I want to be there for Yuji. And he comes in and just gives Yuji this, like, crap load of motivation. Be so sick. Like, even that would be enough for me if he doesn't get Boogie Woogie back. Just seeing him interact with Yuji again would be so cold.
If we can just get him to somehow talk to Megumi. Give him 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Megumi's in. Megumi's back in the game. I'm telling you, man. Toto's speeches, god damn, man. Those are incredible. Also, I see Blaziken Anime, one of the OG Go YouTubers. I see him in JJK YouTubers. He says, push the Hakari agenda. I'm very sorry to say, but
no, we don't do that here.
We got 2 Yuta Glazers here. That's right. How is Hakari? I just saw the poll as well. Dude, 300 votes and 350 votes. How? How is Hakari? Oh no. I've lost faith in you guys. Chat, I've lost faith in you guys.
Uraume is a top of the line Heian Era sorcerer, bro.
Uraume is that?
Like,
that's my monarch. Toto,
it's such a difficult one.
No, I see. Enemy stand uses cooking Megami. What's it? Oh, you mean Hakari versus Uraume? That's simple, man. Uraume cooks. Easy. Join the Uraume agenda. There's always room for more.
See, I love Uraume's ability, but I don't like the character. Not one bit. The Sukuna glazing is too much. I think they waffle so much about Sukuna not going all out. And I feel like it's heavily misinterpreted too, because what they actually say is that Sukuna's cursed energy like fluctuates in waves, right? So people took this to mean that, this is just my opinion, because obviously Gojo doesn't explain itself fully. But I took that to mean Sukuna isn't going all out, like consistently, but the whole fluctuation in the waves of cursed energy is because occasionally Sukuna just uses more effort and then goes back down to like, I don't need this much effort. So I think in Yuta's domain, when Sukuna's been like properly put on the spot with this, you know, even the narrator was saying like a desperate move or something to lower Hollow Wicker Basket and try and get the wall slash off. Really, in that moment, do we think Sukuna was? I know he has more stuff in his arsenal. That's fine. He's definitely holding that back. I mean, we've seen it, Fire Arrow and Fuga and whatever. But in terms of like actually putting effort into it, even in just cursed energy, there are definitely points where I think he's been, you know, actually going all out. Because if that was a dismantle that hit Yuta, that was like amped to the max. If it just straight up cut his hand off and even like come in half. But to lower Hollow Wicker Basket and just take it, so there's got to be some effort there.
The thing is like, I think two things are going on and two things are simultaneously being true. And I think, to be fair, even before the Viz came out, people misunderstood the statement, so it's not even on the Viz. Viz made it worse though. The Viz incorrectly says Sukuna still isn't going seriously. What's actually being said in the Japanese is that Sukuna isn't going all out, / Sukuna isn't using his full power. That's what's actually being said in the Japanese. So the seriously part by Viz, like, to people who've read the Viz, that's incorrect. It's the full power part. At least that's what I've heard, and that's what the translators have been saying, especially for TCB. Now, I think it's very possible for someone to be going seriously, because I think Sukuna's been going seriously this whole time, but he's not been using his full power. Like, he's been holding back, because if Sukuna were to go use his full power, it would just end it all instantly, even against Yuta.
Yeah, this is all cooked.
Yeah, like if he were to use Fuga, right, his flames, or whatever else, God, like whatever else is in the black box. If he's like the Avatar, he's got all 4 elements, you know. Like, if he does have so much in there that he would instantly annihilate everyone, then it could make sense how both of these things are true. How Sukuna is not going all out, but Sukuna is going serious. Sukuna is limiting like all of the weapons in his arsenal, specifically because he wants a good fight, because he wants to enjoy it. But with this limited version of himself, he is going seriously though. Like, he is taking it very seriously, and he's not playing about.
Yeah.
By the way, the only reason I'm making this argument is to somehow make it make sense and not have the narrator contradict itself. Because the narrator, if that's the case, because on previous times the narrator said like Sukuna's not taking it, like other times is not taking it seriously, not going all out. But then all of a sudden Uraume says this, but then the narrator also says Sukuna was desperate against Yuta. Like, there's so many inconsistencies. The only way I can rationalize it and make it seem like it's not inconsistent is by arguing that Sukuna's going serious, but in this limited state that he's in. So he's going serious, but he's not going all out, and he's not at full power. Like, that's the only way it can all make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I agree. I mean, either that or Uraume is just yapping, which is a very real possibility. But yeah, I think it's difficult because the whole Fuga thing, we've been waiting on it for so long, and I am very convinced, at least like, I don't know if I'm convinced, but the way I would really like it to go down is if Sukuna's like, if he's put on the back foot here by holding back, like I want it to come bite him in the ass, you know? I want him to be sort of like punished for not using his full arsenal straight away. And I think the best way to have the Fuga reveal would be to kind of use Gojo's statement of Yuji's going to get Sukuna's Kes technique. And I really want Yuji to reveal it for Sukuna. Like, I want Yuji to reveal it first. And I think that would be a great way to actually push Sukuna to the point where he then feels the need to use what's left in his arsenal. I think that would be... I don't think that's necessarily what's going to happen. I would really like that, though, if Yuji's the one to actually bring out his technique, and then Sukuna goes, okay.
I mean, it's true though, because think about it. Like, this could be the biggest reason why Sukuna loses. If he, his own, I don't want to say arrogance, but his personality of sort of like messing about, not taking things seriously. Even if Yuji, how he's like, you're boring. He doesn't actually finish him off. Like, he gives him a fatal wound. So many times he just tosses him aside. Right now, Yuji could be dead. Yuji could be dead like 5 times over. More than that, had Sukuna been going seriously. Yeah, like Maki would be dead had he not been as afraid of Kusakabe, whatever. Like he would have never lost the hand against Higuruma had that's a fact. Like, he could have just killed him. He even says, I can kill you anytime. And I remember how we were talking about earlier how, maybe if nobody gets the hand and use it for resonance, or, maybe if Yuji eats the hand and he gets a power. Like, there's so many theories. Ever since he's lost that hand, there's been so many theories going around of it buying Sukuna back in the ass. And that... It's a bit crazy, isn't it? Like, the only way Sukuna can lose is if he brings about his own downfall, by messing about too much,
Yeah, I mean, I think that is kind of where we're heading, in the sense of, maybe for round 2, gonna have possibly some characters who are meant to be dead coming back. And then even just, Yuji, I feel like Yuji has definitely got more to show us, I'm not gonna lie. Even just some information on the contents of Yuki's soul book and stuff they learned from that. This way that they cheated, all this mention of, potential soul swapping, or just this kind of stuff there is so much that I feel like we're not seeing from our protagonists as well, as well as Sukuna, to the point where, everyone's kind of viewing this as Sukuna's not showing his full hand. I really hope he does just reach the point where, I don't think he'll regret it, because I don't think Sukuna's scared of, being defeated. His whole point is that he wants to have fun and not be bored, and I think he'd definitely be bored if he just straight up deletes everyone. It makes sense for Sukuna's character, but I do think that is what's gonna come and bite him in the ass.
Yeah, no, I can see that, and especially with Yuji. Man, Yuji... Okay, one thing I will say, because you were talking about the soul part, how he hasn't shown everything about that. I'm more curious about the blood manipulation. It does make sense why he hasn't shown it, though. Because the whole point of the plan is to save... Even we saw after the Yuta domain, he says, I'm going to save you, Megami. So Yuji probably has some insane blood manipulation techniques. Like, he could genuinely have techniques that not even Choso could do, and he can't use it. And not that he can't use it. Like, he could use it, like we saw in music when he was very desperate, but... The whole point of the plan is that Yuji needs to land as many physical blows as he possibly can. If he does damage of blood manipulation, it's pointless. It's genuinely pointless. Every bit of damage he needs to do needs to be physical blows without blood manipulation to shake Sukuna's soul, because that is actually weakening Sukuna's output and it's freeing Megami. So I agree, honestly. There's probably a lot we haven't seen from... Yuji's definitely nerfing himself by... not using blood manipulation and limiting it because of the soul plan. And I do hope there comes a point where he's like, damn, I just gotta go all out blood manipulation or we're gonna die. And hopefully we get to see an all out you. That would be awesome. I can't lie.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense. Like, this whole, we're drawing a lot of attention to the fact that Sukuna's not going all out, or Sukuna's not using his full arsenal for, whatever reason. It just makes sense that because they have this goal of saving Megami, they've gone into this, and Yuji is also not, using his full arsenal. He's not using his full potential, which is, I think, going to be a really interesting way to do it, in that if they do manage to save Megami, or for whatever reason they end up in a position where everyone goes like, okay, it's time to lock in Sukuna, you just need to go now. Like, for whatever reason, we're not trying to save Megami, or Megami's already been saved, and then Yuji pulls out some crazy blood manipulation technique, or Sukuna's technique, or some crazy soul stuff. Like, I feel like it's that's definitely where we're heading. Is that Yuji's got so much more to show us, and you know, it's just a question of how we're handling this Megami situation, which has kind of got me. I genuinely have no clue where we're going with that.
The Megami one is tough because this is like an ancient theory that even before Gojo fought Sukuna, this has been around since actually, again, since before Gojo fought Sukuna, that, and I'm sure you've heard, like everyone's talked about this, how there's going to be 2 final battles, or at least one of the final battles is going to be inside of the innate domain, where Yuji's going to fully place his soul inside of Megami's innate domain, and there's going to be like a 2v1, where Yuji and Megami are going to fight Sukuna in the innate domain, and it's kind of poetic because that's how it all started. The initial fight between Yuji and Sukuna started in the innate domain, and it's going to end there. And now Megami, you know, sort of his innate domain is going to, that would be beautiful. I'm not going to lie. If that's actually how it went, that would be absolutely beautiful. And real quick as well, because I do have to go because I have to break my fast 10 minutes. You know, I haven't eaten in 14 hours. I haven't drank any. I'm very hungry. So, is there any last things you want to say? Any like, final take, hot take?
Final hot take. I mean, other than the obvious, everyone needs to, you know, come to the realization that Hakari is so far below Yuta. I think that's the main point that I feel like I need to push at the moment to certain people. That is kind of the point of my channel as well. Just, you know, some Yuta appreciation. But yeah, no, I mean, other than that, I just, you know, I've had a great time talking about JJK. Thank you for having me on the stream.
No, it was great having you on. Thank
really.
you so much for coming on. Again, if even one person here hasn't checked out Lonzy, I'm sure most of you have. Like, fantastic YouTuber. He's blowing up. Amazing JJK content. Like, it's awesome. It's fresh. It's new. It's great. So if you haven't, check him out. And his Twitter's in the description too. And thank you very much for coming on. It was a lot of fun. Who's your top 10 strongest? I'll answer that next stream. It's too much answer now. Sorry. But yeah, thanks for coming on. And again, thank you to everyone watching as well. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Oh.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.